Welcome to the Brave Enough Show. I am so happy that you are here. We are going to be doing an amazing thing this September that I want everyone listening to check out. Go to braveenoughconference.com because every September I put on an amazing event. That's 3 days and it's phenomenal and jam-packed full of a great mix of both wonderful, powerful, amazing talks and curriculum and rest and relaxation. I do this because I've been doing this now for 9 years and I know how exhausted women are. And sometimes, you go to conferences, they're held in beautiful places, and there's no time to actually enjoy the place. There's no time to get to chat with other people or network or actually go and sit by the pool or go to the spa. And I want you to do all of those things or take a nap in your own room. I want you to do that. So I pick a beautiful luxury hotel where we host the event. It's at the bottom of Camelback Mountain. So you're looking up at the beautiful Sonoran sky and seeing how literally gorgeous it is in Scottsdale at this amazing resort. And then every morning from 8 to noon, we have phenomenal talks. The speakers that I have at the Brave Enough conference, you're not going to hear anywhere else. You're not going to hear these speakers elsewhere. And I do this specifically so that you can hear from women who have impactful, powerful teachings, real life experiences, and are experts in the information they're going to share with you. And I do it because I believe in women. I want you to be there. I want this to be the year you come. Do not wait. It always sells out. Find your friends that you want to bring with you. And if you don't have a friend, you do because you know me. I am your friend. So put me down as your referral and come to the conference. You can come to this conference completely empty, burned out, and I promise you're going to leave better. I get so many compliments after this conference. And do you know how they come? Testimonies from women saying, I came to your conference. I went home. I asked for a raise. I went to your conference. I came home. I stopped doing these 10 things that were draining me. I went to your conference. I came home. I all of a sudden had strategies to create balance in my work life and boundaries at my work. And now I'm thriving. These are the testimonies I hear. I want you to be there. We do not do enough for ourselves as women. So just go to braveenoughconference.com. Save the dates, sign up today. I'm telling you, you will not miss out. This whole season on the Brave Enough Show, we're talking a ton about our personalities, and I want you to really know yourself. I'm encouraging you over these 10 episodes to know yourself at a deeper level than you have before. The reason for that, your health. It is so important that we as women and as busy people, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you are a physician, whether you are a leader, a healthcare executive, a teacher, whatever you're doing, there's so much that is asked of you that your mental load oftentimes is so much that you just shut down. Do you ever have days where you come home and you're met at the door, if you're like me, you have kids. Normally, the first thing that someone asks me when I walk in the door at night is, what is for dinner? They know not to say those exact words because I will give them a glare that will, literally incite fear. But they'll say something like, so do we have plans tonight? Do you know what that means in our house? What is for dinner? Or they'll say, did you have any thoughts about what we should have for food? And translation, Mom, what's for dinner? And sometimes that question will cause me to just shut down at a level that question should not cause me to shut down. But it's because my mental load is so high. I'm driving home. I'm thinking about things. I'm thinking about things I need to do. I'm thinking about things I didn't do. I still need to get done today. I'm thinking of this email or this interaction I had at work or what I have to do tomorrow, or I'm thinking about the weekend that's coming up and how I'm traveling, or we're traveling for sports or something. And my mental load is so high that just asking me a question literally can send me over the edge. If you are finding yourself like that, chances are that you are so over functioning and overwhelmed and overworking that your brain is not at its best. And if your brain's not at your best, guess what comes next? Your physical health. So in order to really be well, I would argue you have to know yourself. You have to know the flags that are going, wait a minute, this is how I am under stress. This is how anxiety shows up for me. This is how anger, when I'm angry, this is what it means. This is how this whatever emotion shows up for me. And this is what it means. And the reason that you should know yourself is because if you know yourself, you can regulate yourself. And a lot of times we don't know ourselves. We do not know ourselves and we do not regulate ourselves. And then we actually project our anger or our stress or our anxiety or our sadness or whatever it is that we're going through. We project that on the people that we love the most that are around us or the people that we work with. And we don't want to be that. We want to be people that go, when Sasha's at work, it's a good day. When Dr. Shillcutt's in the OR with me, I know I'm going to have a good day. Like that's the best feedback I ever get is when someone says, oh, I'm so glad you're with us today. Because then I know like I'm not bringing stress to people that I'm working with. I'm actually bringing joy to people I'm working with. And believe me, I've had days where I know I'm not bringing joy to people around me. So I'm not speaking I don't want this to sound like I'm speaking from a place of arrogance because I'm not. I struggle just like the rest of us. But I do know that when I self-regulate and when I know myself and when I am dialed in to my own motivations and my own core longings and core fears and core motivations and my sense of alignment, when I'm dialed into that, then I'm more likely to bring joy to people around me. And isn't that what we want? We want to be joyful ourselves. We want to bring joy to people around us. Okay. So today we are talking about the last three types on the Enneagram that belong in what is called the Head Triad. And these types are type 5, 6, and 7. Okay, so we've already gone over the gut triad, which is type 1, 8, and 9. We went over last time the head triad or heart triad, which is type 2, 3, and 4. And now we're digging into the head triad. Those are types 5, 6, and 7. So again, if you have not taken the test, I'm going to put it in the show notes. It's the most validated one that I like. And I really strongly encourage you not to take a free exam because I don't know who's creating those and I can't tell you if they're accurate or not. So take the one that you have to pay for, even though it's only like $20 some because it's really validated. And if you don't know, if you want to learn more and dive deeper about the Enneagram type, your specific type, go back to season 7 and listen to the Brave Enough show in season 7 because you'll be able to learn more. But the heart or head triad is the thinking center. So these people live in their brain. Just like types 1, 8, and 9 live in that instinctual center, which is our gut, type 5, 6, and 7 live in their head, which means they have a lot of thoughts. They have a lot of thoughts, okay? I love the quote by Jackie Kennedy. I think she said, well, if I tell you what I'm thinking, then they wouldn't be my thoughts. If you ask a person 5, 6, or 7 what they're thinking, they will do a download. It doesn't matter if they're introvert or extrovert, they will just do a download and you're going to be like, whoa. So be prepared when you ask a 5, a 6, or a type 7 what they're thinking because they'll tell you. And there's a lot of thoughts. And there will be thoughts off of thoughts. And there will be algorithms. I coach a lot of type 6s and I love coaching 6s and I laugh every time. I was just coaching a type 6 yesterday and I make all my coaching clients take the Enneagram because it's so valuable for me as a coach because I know how to coach them and I know what motivates them. So when they're struggling with something, it's just a deeper level of understanding for me as a coach. It really helps. And I want them to know themselves really well. And I said, okay, well, let's talk about the risks that are aligned with this idea that she was having pitching to me. And she said, well, I have a list of 10. Now, I didn't know what we were going to be talking about in our coaching session. And I just laughed out loud when she said this because I thought, if I asked Enneagram 8, like, tell me the risks, they'd pause. They would be like, well, okay, let me think about this for a minute. No. When I said to her, tell me the risks, she said, okay, I've made a list already. There's 10. Lots of thoughts. And she just went on a download and I loved it. I was like, this is an awesome coaching session because you are so mentally prepared. But 5, 6s, and 7s, they are in their head. You may think they're listening to you, they're thinking. They are very quick thinking people. They're very nimble people in their brain. And they, even the way they speak, they will say, well, this is what I'm thinking. They won't say, this is what I'm feeling. That's what a twos, threes, and fours will commonly say, because a five, a six, a seven is making the decision based in their brain. You might be thinking, oh, wow, that's really good. Yes and no. It can not, there's not a right way to make decisions. I hope you've understood that throughout this season is, I want you to understand that every Enneagram type is amazing. Every personality type has positives and benefits. When you are living in your head, it can be really hard if you're feeling something that's pulling you one direction and your head is going, oh, but what about this? Oh, but what about that? You actually may be less decisive. So it's not like people that are in the head triad are smarter or better than people in the heart triad or people in the gut triad. They have a lot of thoughts, and they oftentimes are excellent at planning for crises because their brain is already like 10 steps ahead. They also could be really good at planning fun because their brain is 10 steps ahead. They have a lot of thoughts, but they also can have, and this is what they struggle with, anxiety and struggle with security. They have a strong sense to be secure. Five, sixes, and sevens long to feel secure. And they long to feel secure because they have so many thoughts that can make insecurity exhausting to them. So they always have a plan, not a plan B. They have a plan B, C, E, F, G. I mean, I work with some surgeons that are like this, and I laugh out loud because most surgeons will say, we're going to do this. And if that doesn't work, we're going to do this. But if you're a six, a lot of times my Enneagram 6 surgeons will say, we're going to do this. And then if that doesn't work, we're going to do this. And then if that doesn't work, we're going to do this. And then if that doesn't work, we're going to do this. And even the fives and sevens will be the same way. They'll be like, we're going to try A, but if A doesn't work, we're going to go to B. And if B doesn't work, we're going to go C. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, you had me at plan B. Like I'm lost. So very much can often create, if you're type 5, 6, and 7, they really can struggle with anxiety. Now, this is not like blatant anxiety that you are going to think. I don't want you to think, oh, these people are anxious people. They're constantly, it's very obvious. No, I know some 5, 6s, and 7s that you would never know that they have anxiety. They are as cool as a cucumber, but inside in their brain, it is an exhausting place to be at times because they have so many more thoughts than the average human. Again, it makes them extremely great in crises because they can handle it. They go into overdrive mode and they have already thought through all the plans. And so I always say, if there was a zombie apocalypse, I'm following a type 5, a type 6, or type 7. They have the exit strategy already. They are going to survive that, and I'm following them. So that is a type 5, 6, and 7. Let's talk a little bit about the individual types now that are in this head triad. I know for myself, I have a child that is a type 6, and when this child is having anxiety, they will come to me with a lot of downloads and a lot of, it kind of comes across as snarky, but they're really just anxious. And they're like, well, and then this isn't going to happen. And then if this happens, then this isn't going to happen. And I know that it might come across to me as they are maybe criticizing me, or I might take it like that as a mom. But what's really happening is they're overthinking and they're having stress and anxiety for whatever reason. And it's coming out that way. So just to be aware that that's how people in the head triad work. And the worst thing you can do is just be like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. That's the worst thing, because that's like saying to them that their whole being and what they're thinking is wrong. Okay. What's best to say is, well, let's talk through it. Let's talk about it. Tell me. Right? So when I say to this child that comes to me, stop thinking about it. You're overthinking. Don't worry about it. It's like a rejection. But when I say, well, tell me more. Tell me about it. Talk to me about it. Then it becomes like, oh, okay, this is my safe person. I can tell her about it. She's not going to judge me. I can get it out. And when I start talking about it, I realize how it sounds and I'm going to be okay. So it's really helpful to approach type 4 or type 5, type 6, type 7 in the head triad with openness and a listening ear. They love that and they will respond to that instead of just shutting them down. If a surgeon comes to me that's a type 6 and he or she is like, I'm really worried about this, and if this doesn't work, then this has to work, and then this has to work, and I go, why are you stressing about it? None of that's going to happen. Who cares? Calm down. As an anesthesiologist, they are going, as a surgeon, they're going to be so upset and not secure that I am on board. Now, I may be thinking, why are they stressed out? None of those things are going to happen. The chances of those happening are very small. But if I say, okay, tell me your concerns. Do you see the difference there? They're going to be like, oh, she's listening. She cares. She gets it. We're going to be fine. They're going to be more secure in their own plan. So that's how you want to approach people that are in the head triad. So let's talk about these types for a second. Type 5 is called the investigative thinker. These are very deep thinkers. They're in their heads. They live in their heads. There are researchers. They are people that are highly intelligent, deep thinkers. They go down rabbit holes. They're the person that you give a topic to and you don't hear from them for a month and you think they're not doing anything. And then they come back with a 100-page term paper written and why each thing is bad or good. And this is what we should buy for the department. You're like, whoa, I haven't heard from you in a month, but you did an amazing job here. Their core desire is to be capable. They really want to be capable and competent, and they want to know the most about whatever they're studying. So they're going to go down that rabbit hole. They're going to do a ton of research. This is the people that are like Consumer Reports. They are, not buying a car until they've read every single thing there is to possibly know about this car. Their core fear is to be ignorant or annihilated, not to have relevance. So they're constantly learning mode. Their core weakness is avarice, which means that they're thinking too much. Interaction will deplete them. These are very introverted people. 5s are highly introverted. A lot of 5s don't end up in partnerships, and they're fine with that. They are fine being alone. People exhaust them, and too much activity around them exhausts them because they love to read and go deep. And really study things. Their core longing is that your needs are not a problem. Now, a type 6, interestingly, in my profession, which is anesthesia and surgery, there are a lot of type 6s, okay? The loyalist is what a type 6 is. And they're also called the loyal guardian. You might hear them called that or read that. Their core fear is feeling fear itself. So they will do anything to actually avoid fear, and they won't be without support. These are not the rogue cowboy, people going in and doing a million things without support or taking risks. They just don't. Their core desire is to have security, guidance, and support. Their core weakness is anxiety or constantly scanning to predict worst case scenarios. So they're very prepared, but they can oftentimes get frozen in paralysis because they can't make a decision because they don't want to make the wrong decision. And they oftentimes have such anxiety about the decision they made that they second guess themselves. So they long to feel that they are safe and secure. They want to feel that they're safe and secure. They always have a plan, though. Always have a plan. I have a friend who does a lot of biking, and she said that one of her mountain biking, and she does a lot of off-road biking, and she is a type 6, and she bikes with a group of people. And she said every time they bike, they always come to her because she has everything in her fanny pack that could possibly be needed for any type of emergency situation, right? She is prepared. Okay, a type 7 is called the entertaining optimist. Their fear is being deprived, trapped, bored, or in emotional pain. And their core desire is to feel happy and content. These are our party planners. These are always half glass full. They bring life to every party. Let's get the party started. Let's live each day to the fullest. We all love these people. We know these people. Sometimes these people drive us bonkers because we want them to get serious about something and buckle down. And they're like, why? Let's have fun. Their core weakness is actually gluttony because they're constantly having to fill themselves up with stimulation. And I'm not talking about like food gluttony. It can be any type of stimulation gluttony. They do not want to also feel emotional pain. They will do whatever they can to avoid emotional pain. So sometimes this can really be hard for them because if they're going through something that requires a lot of emotional pain, grief, loss, a big life event, they don't know how to handle that. They don't know what to a lot of times you'll see them fleeing. Their response is just to flee from that. Their core longing is to hear you will be taken care of. They want to be taken care of so every day they can feel content, happy, and satisfied. And these are, I love sevens because sevens bring the life to the party. And they love starting things. They don't always love finishing things, but they love starting things. So if you are a 5, 6, or 7, I hope this was helpful. And you are in that head triad, just know that you are safe and secure. And it's okay to shut your brain off sometimes and rest your brain and rest all those thoughts. You don't have to constantly be thinking. I always tell 6s, 5, 6, and 7s who are overthinking, do an activity for your well-being that you can zone out, that requires you not to think, because that will allow you more rest than an activity where you're having to think because you're already thinking in overdrive. All right, this is really, really good. Now, listen, if you are someone who's like, I want to learn more about this, I want to like coach with you. I do take on coaching clients. Reach out to me, reach out to info@becomebraveenough.com and say, I want to coach with Sasha. Let's set up an exploratory call. We can get on a quick call for 15 minutes and we'll see if it is workable for both of us. All right. Have an amazing, amazing day. Don't forget to give me a rating and review and share this podcast with others. It helps so much.